You are now tuned into the tomb of Jehovah. Play my tunes loud enough to shake the room.
Hello, welcome to the very first episode of the Gray or the Gray Area podcast, depending on what the fuck we're gonna name it afterwards. I'm Kyland.
I'm Logan.
I'm Zach, aka Big Sexy Train Tracks.
And today, we're gonna talk about some of the latest things that are happening in areas of interest that we like. Because the last podcast was just us rambling about fuck knows what. So I'm gonna bring up some topics, and I'm gonna let the people who have a lot of expertise in these topics talk about them.
Guys,
So very first thing I want to talk about is did you hear about the new Google Stadium kind of thing going on?
Ooh, what are you talking about?
Google Stadia?
Yeah, so Google decided it would be a great idea to put their foot in the gaming market and try to release let me try to describe it the best way possible. Try to release a streaming platform.
I heard about this.
Yeah, that you pay for.
And you get free games.
Yeah, you get free games, and you have to buy a controller and stuff. Okay, what do you guys think about that?
I don't know, honestly. That seems like a good idea because there's a lot of hassle of downloading and
They're also
buying.
greedy.
You know?
They also want your money.
Yeah, but also it's a lot of money to pay for just this per month, you know.
Yeah, how much is it even? Hold up, let me figure out how much it is.
$129 to buy it.
129? Is that with a controller or something?
I don't know. Yeah, it has Assassin's Creed, Odyssey, Borderlands 3, Doom. Hell yeah,
So-
farming simulator.
Oh, the farming
it's-
simulator? Dude.
So it's 3 months of Google Stadium Pro, the founder badge, the little thing that connects you to the service, and the controller. That seems way overpriced in my opinion.
For $129?
Yeah, it's 129.
Bro, PS4 is like $300, $400 when they first come.
Yeah, but that's a console, the service, and all that kind of stuff, and you don't have to rebuy it. I
Well,
feel
you
like
don't pay $129 after this. That's what I'm thinking. I think it's different.
I don't know. I feel like Google Stadium came a little bit too late.
Google's just trying to merge their market with anything possible. Like they have their phone service now,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
I don't know.
their phones are doing pretty well, I guess.
The Pixel 3's coming out?
no, I'm talking about they have a phone service. Did you hear about that?
No.
Oh, like a call?
Like AT&T, basically.
Yeah.
but Google.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it good prices or something?
I don't know. I haven't really done too much research on it.
That's crazy.
I feel like the only people that are going to benefit from this are the people that already have Google products in their home,
Yeah.
so they can
Yeah,
connect
you're right.
everything together.
Like Alexa.
You just turned on my Alexa, you fuck nut.
I wouldn't.
Oh, Alexa,
Yeah.
kill myself.
I wouldn't buy Google Stadium just for the sheer fact that it's basically a
No, it's Google Stadia, not Stadium.
oh whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm not buying it. Cause who would buy that over
Just one of the games.
Did you see the leaks of the PS5?
does it look good?
I don't know. I can't really tell. I don't know what's going to be the difference.
It's supposed to be 4K, easy.
But human eyes can't see 4K, Logan. Honestly, I just want the Xbox to die.
Yeah.
That's all I'm waiting for. The Xbox One was a colossal failure.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
And the overall market reach, it was not in the beginning, of course, but towards the end of its lifespan.
Compared to what the Xbox 360 did, yeah. But
But the whole entire point of that Xbox One, the whole entire point of consoles is to sell more than what the previous console was. The Xbox One did not do that. So in the eyes of Microsoft, it was a failure.
I feel like Xbox 360 won't be the PS2 and Xbox 360 are the two best gaming consoles,
Oh,
in my opinion.
I think PS4 was also good.
if I had to pick one console to play on, it would be Xbox 360, easily.
Nah, PlayStation just has a better operating system in general.
Yeah, but The Xbox 360 had the controller. It had the games. It had the games, bruh.
PS3 controller wasn't that great. PS4 was better.
I will agree there.
Okay. So let's talk about one of the most exciting things. I guess not exciting.
Cube World.
Not Cube World. That was a disappointment. Let's
Let's
talk about Fortnite.
Fortnite 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yay.
What do you guys think about that?
I don't
Fortnite
like it.
basically rebooting
I think
everything.
I think because it already died, Fortnite 2 is the afterlife for it. Like it's not like another chance at life. It's like the afterlife because it's already dead.
I don't think it's dead.
I think it's dead. I think it's been dead for a while.
It's not as dead as Apex Legends.
Yeah, that was like a you know, flies live like 1 month. It's like that.
But I think it's Fortnite's company, or like I forget, Epic Games. Yeah, Epic Games is trying to just be like, okay, guys, listen, Fortnite isn't dead. We just had to like fix a couple things.
No, but it was really smart in terms of like
Marketing and stuff.
Yeah, because people have spent so much money on their first game, and then they just got rid of all of that, and they're like, oh, this is gonna be so much better, so they buy all the new stuff for that game too. So it was really smart in terms of tricking people into buy your stuff.
I don't see Fortnite being a thing in the next 2 years. I really don't. I think.
Well,
I don't know.
it's obvious because like certain types of games go through waves.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of years ago, survival games were the thing, and then battle royales became a thing.
And now it's like MMORPGs are pretty big.
I don't know.
Raid Shadow Legend.
No. I think it was a good idea, but I don't think I don't think Fortnite had the longevity that everyone was expecting it to.
Oh no, yes it did. People thought it was going to die within the first year.
Well, yes,
But after that,
But
I
it
thought it was
doesn't-
gonna last super long.
but it doesn't have like the longevity of say something like,
Minecraft.
yeah, that's a good example actually. Minecraft, you're able to come back to and be like, oh my god, this is such a cool game. But with Fortnite, is like you need people to play it, and if you don't have those people to play it after a certain amount of time, it won't have the nostalgia and longevity it has like Minecraft does.
Wii Sports, best game all time.
Wii Sports Resort.
Portal 2.
I mean, Portal 2 was actually one of the first games I ever played, and it was actually really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about. Let me ask you this, Zach. Zach, what's happening in sports right now? Because I can tell you for a fact that I don't watch sports, and I doubt Logan watches sports either.
Nope.
Okay, so fucking. First off, college football, getting into like the heat of the season. The playoffs come up in about 2 months. So everyone's like trying to clinch their spot in the playoffs. So I don't know if you know how the playoffs work, but hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, as Zach has to go deal with some family stuff, Logan,
What?
tell me about tell me what you think about Apex Legends.
I thought it was more fun than Fortnite originally, and they kind of ruined it with like the battle pass and stuff, and all the seasons, and adding new characters. And it just kind of got boring. It was like it was a good idea to have like different characters with kids and stuff, but it's kind of like Overwatch where you have to rely too much on your character you're playing, not your actual skill in the game.
I think Apex Legends was a good idea. I don't think the way they handled it was alright. I don't think it was okay for them to basically be like.
I would say it's still better than Fortnite though.
Wasn't it like week 2 they announced like a battle pass and like a whole
Yeah.
bunch of other things in it, and I was just kind of like,
It was
that's
like,
not really
yeah.
something that should be done.
Anyways, I'm back. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys know how college football playoffs work. So
Explain to us.
they take the top 4 teams in like the entire league. So there's a few hundred teams that are in the division that all the big teams are in, and that's made up of a bunch of conferences. And so the top 4 teams at the end of the year will go into the college football playoffs. And other teams that are like semi-good, like pretty good, ranked anywhere from 5 to unranked, are gonna be in bowl games. But like the playoffs are like what everyone watches and like the main thing each team is going for. And so teams like Wisconsin and Georgia were both up there in the top. I think they're in the top. They're both in the top 7 at one point. So and they had a realistic chance of making it to the college football playoffs. And then last week, Georgia, who was ranked, I believe it was 3 or 4 at the time, played an unranked South Carolina team that beat them in 2 overtimes, which was crazy. And then this week,
So wait, the South Carolina team beat the Georgia team?
yeah, and then this week, Wisconsin got upset by Illinois on a game-winning field goal, which was crazy. So a lot of upsets are happening in college football right now. And then also baseball, the World Series has like the 2 teams that would make it into the World Series.
Which are
The Houston Astros and the Washington Nationals. The Houston Astros actually won on a walk-off home run last night, which was crazy. I saw like the highlights of it. The Houston Astros look really, really, really good.
do you think they have a good chance of winning?
Yes, because the Washington Nationals and the Houston Astros both have really good pitching. They have 3 star pitchers on their team. Each of the 3 had been to the All-Star game at least once. And they match up really well with each other. But after that, the pitching kind of falls off, and then that's where the hitting is going to come into play. And the Astros have immensely better hitting than Nationals do.
Okay. So let me ask you a question as a person who doesn't watch sports but follows the politics around sports. Do you, as a person who watches sports and like keeps up to date with it, do you care about like the politics or like the thoughts of the players? Like for instance, this week Michael Jordan talked about his thoughts on the whole China situation. As a person who watches sports, do you care about that, or do you just want to see them play and shut up? You know what I mean?
I personally, I'm a very like neutral person when it comes to stuff like that. So I think that they're entitled to their own opinions, and they're entitled to express those opinions, whether it's going to cause backlash or not. They can do whatever the fuck they want. But I try not to pay too close of attention to the players. I understand that they have their viewpoints, and sometimes I'll look into it and see like if they have like really shitty viewpoints, and I'm not gonna follow them anymore or support them. Mm-hmm. But depending on if I don't agree with them, just because I don't agree with them doesn't mean I'm gonna stop following them or stop enjoying watching them play. You know, so it depends, honestly.
Okay, it depends on like how radical that person is about whatever.
Right.
Okay. I was just curious because, like, as a person, I care a lot more about what they say. But if I was like a sports fan, I guess I could be like, who cares? I mean, like, they're a good player. I mean, like, they play well. You know? Logan, what are your views on sports? I'm curious on what you think. 'Cause I have my opinions about them.
Bowling is not a sport.
You don't think bowling's a sport?
Only Wii bowling.
All right, good to know. I can definitely see the appeal of sports. I just can't get into them. Like me personally, I can't sit down and watch like a long game of basketball or baseball or something like that.
I thought you meant like play.
No. I was talking about like.
Do you
what's
play
your
sports?
thoughts? Me?
Yeah.
I played a round of baseball last year, and
you're a baseball
tell you
person.
from experience, I hated it. I never got any play, and my coach only put the best people on, which, I mean, yeah, that's kind of how sports work, but I'm just not a sports oriented kind of guy.
Sports are my thing. I can't, like, I just recently joined the Ultimate Frisbee team in Kentucky. That shit's so much fun, bro.
You were talking about it to me one night, about how like, you were so sore because you did, like, a 2-hour...
It was a 2-hour scrimmage, and I looked it up, ran, like, at least 10 miles. But yeah, I just sports are my thing. I will watch anything except for soccer. I just can't get into. Like whenever the Masters are on, I'll watch it. Golf. Whenever playoffs are on, I'll watch the regular season of baseball, college basketball, college football, and that's pretty much it. But then I'll watch like the playoffs of like the NBA, the NFL. I'll sometimes watch. I have a fantasy football team, so I'll watch some games of NFL in the regular season. But those like sports, the best. Oh, especially hockey. I'll watch any. I actually went to a hockey game yesterday. But any hockey game is super intense, so I love watching it.
Okay. So just to veer off sports for a little bit, because I know that you can carry a conversation about it, but me and Logan cannot. Let's talk about something that I find kind of interesting. How do you feel about Ninja leaving Twitch? Kind of old.
That was kind of a while ago.
But I'm curious on like your thoughts on it now, like. Cause like Ninja grew up on Twitch, like he was a Twitch person, and like his quote was, "Twitch, I outgrew Twitch," which I find insane to say, but like.
Honestly, I think it was because he started getting less viewers on Twitch.
That makes.
He was averaging like 100,000 viewers, and at one point I stopped watching Twitch for a while because I really didn't get it. I'm not really into any games on the stream.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would like check every now and then. He would be at like 40,000 viewers. So that's definitely.
Hey, why did you leave? What happened?
He quoted that he outgrew the Twitch like thing, and that he was needed to like take the next step in his career, which I think was an attempt to be like, okay, guys, we're losing views on Twitch. What if we went to this Pixel platform that forget who owns it, but someone else, some other company owns it, and he went over there.
Oh, Mixer?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Why did you go there instead of Twitch?
Cause I think they give him $10 million.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But what do you guys think about Twitch? Cause I have a very like not strong opinion, but I have an opinion about it. If you want me to go
I've
first.
never been that big on streams.
I can't watch them. I
never really watch streams unless like a Minecraft stream or something.
At one point, I was getting super competitively into Fortnite, so I would watch the streams.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of fun, but as the hype for Fortnite died down, I'm tired of it. And I was just like, I couldn't stay in a stream without getting bored.
I always like when I watch like the Misfits podcast or like what you watch, like the Goop podcast, Logan.
Oh yeah, better
and they
version of
stream
Misfits?
and they talk about how like how they're able to like watch streams and interact with everything. I sat down for because I tested my theory. I was like, okay, why don't I like streams? So I watched a Call Me Carson stream. I found it entertaining for a little bit, and then I got really bored of it because like they always talk about how the chat's interactive and you can talk with it. The chat was going so fast, you can't like have conversations with people. Like it's going
That's not what it's for. It's to...
But like people always cite that I can talk to people through chat. Like I always hear that come up about why streams are so enjoyable. I tried watching a Pokimane stream. I was there for the gaming, obviously.
The gaming.
I was there for the gaming. I got really bored. I tried watching a Fitch stream. I got really bored. But if it's like a video of the stream cut up and put into like on YouTube, I can watch that just fine.
Yeah, I like that too.
I don't like because there's just some I can't sit there for like an hour or two watching this person play a game live. It has to be like a video, and that sounds so strange to say out loud, but like I can't watch streamers. I don't find them appealing. I respect what they do, and I can totally see the appeal for it. I just do not, me personally, I don't find it appealing. I can't sit there and watch that for like hour to 2 hours. Zach, do you have any opinions on Twitch?
There's, like I said before, Or well, actually, we didn't record that part, but I'm a big fan of like the Tiny Meat Gang and Will Miller streams. He streams like sometimes he plays games, but a lot of the time he'll like react to like funny YouTube videos, or he'll just like interact with the chat or do like sketches and stuff like that. 'Cause he's a super funny person, so it's easy for him to keep like me entertained throughout the entire stream. I could watch him for so long. So. But other than that, like gaming streams, I feel like, and not to be rude to any like people that are streaming video games, but they don't have as much of a personality as one. So it's hard to say and interact with them, and you can just like most people will just watch them for them playing the game instead of like their commentary.
I can definitely say that's like the case for a lot of gaming people, but there are some who do have people do go for the personalities for.
Like Call Me Carson, for example.
I can definitely say 100% if I'm watching a Call Me Carson anything, I'm not there for the game. I'm there to hear him talk and ramble about the weirdest shit possible. Okay, I have an interesting thing I want to talk about. So, do you guys know about Fallout 76?
No.
Zach, do you know about that?
Nope.
Okay.
I knew it failed.
So, do you know who Bethesda is, basically? The people who made Skyrim, Fallout, that kind of stuff. Zach?
No.
Made Doom.
Okay. So, there's a company called Bethesda. They make really, really, like, I would say they did make very good games. They made games like Fallout 4, Doom, Skyrim, Dishonored, all these really good, like, well, not Doom and Dishonored, but like Skyrim and Fallout are like these RPG kind of element games. So, the reason I say they did make good games is because, like any company, your main focus is to make money. That's what company is. It isn't there for the gamers, no matter how many people say it is. I would 100% say, as a company, your first goal is to make money, because if you don't make money, you can't make games and you can't appeal to your audience. So, what Bethesda did was took one of their main titles, Fallout, and they kept watering it down. Basically, imagine like a FIFA game, but ever so slightly, they kept watering it down to the point where,
I mean, FIFA basically just water already.
yeah, so imagine FIFA 2022 or something like that, right? But this time you have to pay money to kick the ball, and some of the players, when they run backwards instead of forwards, and it's this glitchy mess.
Wow.
That's basically what Fallout 76 was. A game where they lied about how much it was, what it was, and everything about it. And they released it to this really disgusting state it was in. It was like a zombified corpse. And they worked on it, and now we're about almost a year into it. And it's still, like, okay. Most of the bugs are fixed, but it isn't what it's supposed to. So, one of the main complaints about Fallout 76 was that you cannot talk to human NPCs. There was no NPCs. All the storytelling was done through, like, radio tapes and stuff like that. And normal games, like, things like Dark Souls, where the story is not presented to you, but you have to, like, read into item facts, it works for that kind of thing. But imagine if a game was based around talking to people and they just took out the people part. The game itself isn't going to function correctly. Right. Or it's not going to be the game it was. So, the big hullabaloo about Fallout 76 now is that they promised the human NPCs update by the end of this year. This would cause them to... They not cause them. I'm trying to think of the right words. They wanted this to bring back players, basically. And a lot of people are looking forward to it. Like me, I'm looking forward to the human NPC update because I truly believe it's going to bring back Fallout 76 and bring it into something that's maybe okay. They pushed it back to 2020, citing issues of like performance and stuff. And a whole lot of people are angry about that because, first of all, the update that they were planning on getting back into is pushed back to 2020. And they didn't say what time of 2020. They said 2020. And if they cite performance issues, a lot of people are saying, why didn't you not just fix the game to begin with? You know what I mean? So that's my spiel about Fallout 76. A game that was designed to be okay,
Right.
turned out horrible.
And piggybacking off of that, do you know who Nikki Jakey is?
I think you've talked about him before.
He does game reviews. He's pretty
Uh-huh.
funny. But he's had a video where he talked about like games similar to Fallout and stuff like that. And these are the kind of games that I want to see more of, where like GTA 5 is a great game, very well made, but the story kind of lacks, and same with like Red Dead Redemption 2. The story kind of lacks a independent feel. So, for example, like when you go through missions in Red Dead Redemption 2, you have to follow an exact set of like a set path for completing the mission. Where I feel like games will take off, and when they'll actually like groundbreaking games will be with where you can like it's like a story based game, but you can solve the missions in any way you want to. So, for example, if they had a Red Dead Redemption mission where they had you like rob a bank, instead of having you go to this certain door, press this certain button, talk to this specific person, shoot this specific person, you can climb onto the roof and try to find a way in up there, or you can try to kill someone different, and then that will create a different aspect of like it'll also boom like the watching game industry, because you'll be able to see the different like what goes through other people's minds when they're trying to solve different puzzles in the games, and then also like talking with your friends, and it's going to create a new like community talking about which way each person solved it. And I think personally that would make games like Red Dead Redemption and Fallout like super like better, like and more popular, and they would like sell better and stuff like that. But yeah, I just think they need like an independent aspect to the games to make them truly like reach their true capability.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's like keeping that aspect of the games back is like, honestly, I would say technology, because like as a programmer, it would be a nightmare to do that. But like, I think in the next 50 years, maybe even 20, we can have like games like what you're describing, where you can like, let's say you're tasked with a mission to, I don't know, like buy a bag of chips or something like that. I don't fucking know. And like, you could walk into a store, buy a bag of chips, or you could shoot the guy, grab the bag of chips, run out, steal a bag of chips, whatever. As long as you obtain the bag of chips, you like won the mission. I think that would be so, like what you were saying, so cool. Like discuss with your friends about like, oh my god, I crashed a helicopter into like the roof, and then I got a bag of chips, or something like that. I think that would be really interesting.
Right. I think that might be easier on pro, because I think
I'll be right back.
okay, I think not having to program a set path would be easier on the programmers, because they could just say, oh, if the person gets this item or gets to this place, then boom, they solved it. Instead of if the person follows this exact path and then they do this exact thing, then I feel like that would be harder to program, honestly. But I don't know. I just think it would be super interesting to see a game that has like a story mode where you can solve each thing and on your own time and in your own way.
Yeah, I get you. Hey Logan, what time are we at right now?
I can't see.
You cannot see. What time did you think we started? I would say 1:30.
29 minutes.
Okay, 29 minutes. Okay.
I think it'd be really cool to have a game that has like a really good story, like Portal 2, but the whole premise of the game is like a platformer game.
A platformer
Like
game?
like not 2D, like a kind of like a parkour game.
Like a 3D parkour game.
Yeah, but you can use like there's stuff like grapples and maybe like bounce pads and stuff.
That's an interesting concept. Like Mirror's Edge.
I guess, but yeah, kind of like that. But it also tells a good story.
Oh, okay.
Like if they made Portal 2 into a parkour game instead of a Portal game. That'd be cool to see.
Well, not to totally just veer off on the left end, but I have a question for everybody since it's like a nostalgia kind of thing. Pokemon, right? Pokemon.
Yeah.
What is your like thoughts, feelings, emotions towards the brand Pokemon?
Cyndaquil sucks.
Okay, that's great. My favorite Pokemon, but whatever.
I think
Like, what?
I think they're kind of like running out of ideas, but it'd be kind of hard not to after everything they've done so far.
I think Pokemon will not die unless the audience diminishes for it, which I don't think will happen unless the millennials die off. Pokemon as a brand, in my opinion, I think once they introduce the Pokemon that's a little fucking keychain.
Oh yeah, literal set of keys.
Literal set of keys. I think that's when they ran out of idea. The only thing like left is like household objects, which they already have. They have a Pokemon made of fucking trash.
Yeah.
I mean, but the reason why I ask is because Pokemon Sword and Shield are coming out, and the anime did something really revolutionary months ago, where Ash Ketchum won the Pokemon League. If we had our other friend in here, he could explain why that would be so monumental. But whatever.
He never did it before.
Yeah. But do you think games like Pokemon, where they have the basic concept, like you catch Pokemon, and it's repetitive, but they still sell money, do you think games like that are good for the gaming industry, or do you think they're bad for the gaming industry?
I personally think they're good for the gaming industry because it appeals to a different audience than a lot of the other games.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because I grew up with like in the DS era when that was pretty popular. So
yeah,
having the DS and like going on like a road trip, I would play, even though I couldn't fucking figure out how to get the stupid flute to wake up fucking Snorlax. I still can't do it. A fat ass bitch just snoring away on the middle. First off, why the fuck? First off, why the fuck does he sleep on the road? That makes no sense. Go to bed in your house, Snorlax, you fucking fat ass. God damn it! I cannot get the flute. I have tried so many times, and I even have the fucking action replay, so I can cheat. I have all my Pokemon are level. I have every single Pokeball I need. I have all the potions. I have anything that I want, and I still can't get the goddamn flute.
Wait, what game is this from? Is this from the
Platinum?
No, it wasn't in Platinum.
Yeah, it was.
I was definitely not in Platinum.
Oh my god, we're not having a Pokemon argument. Whatever game it was.
I know, I can guarantee it was Platinum, but
whatever game it was, that's what it was. I think, I don't know. I think games like Pokemon and stuff like Call of Duty and Battlefield and all that kind of stuff, I think they're good to an extent, but like, when you, okay, here's an example. Pokemon's a good brand, but the recent game, what was it, Pokemon Pikachu Go and Eevee Go or whatever the fuck?
Yeah.
I think that was a horrible, horrible mess, and it took one of the core concepts of Pokemon out, which was the fighting aspect of it.
That's like 80% of Pokemon what makes it good.
So here's my opinion on this. I think when games get to a certain point of like popularity and stuff like that, I think that they try to just
All right. He just fucking cut out.
I feel like they try too hard to appeal to the audience that are not actually focusing on what they should do.
Which is why.
Anyway, sorry about that. I think that when the games get to a certain point, they just try to shit out content for people that want it instead of actually like, because when you're not as popular, you work harder to try to get the games to be good so they can get more popular. But when you're at a certain point of popularity, you can't really try anymore, or they don't want to try because they already have enough people to follow their games, and they'll just mindlessly buy any game that comes out. So they're just like, all right, I'm just going to put this out there so they can have something, and instead of actually like trying and making a good game.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think when you have a brand, so like, when you have a brand when you have brand loyalty, you stop caring a lot about what you're putting out, and you're just like what Zach was saying. You just shit out content. I mean, I think honestly that's what Pokemon has done. I think it's gone to the point where it just shits out content just because it has to, or else it'll become irrelevant. But then again, also you have like the TV shows, the card game. Like Pokemon's a multi-billion-dollar like brand, recognizable. Like Pikachu is fucking everywhere in the world. I would say it's on levels of like Mickey Mouse level and McDonald's Arch kind of level. You know what I mean? Like Pikachu's a very recognizable thing. Like my grandma even knows what the fuck a Pikachu is. But when you have brand loyalty, you stop caring a lot about it because people are just gonna buy because it says Pokemon. Yeah. And that's why Pokemon Let's Go sold a lot, but was critically a failure, you know? I don't say critically a failure, but, like, a lot of people didn't like it. And I think Pokemon has watered down a lot of its, like... I know you and our other friend, Connor, you and him talk about, like, stats and, like, the best kind of Pokemon and stuff. But honestly... If you're a kid playing Pokemon, at least nowadays, you don't really have to care about that kind of stuff. It's just, you know, there is no... I know when I was a kid, games like Leaf Green taught me I had to do different things and, like, give Pokemons different abilities and stuff. But nowadays, Pokemon's so watered down that my 6-year-old sister could pick it up and be like, oh, I know how to play Pokemon because all I have to do is press this button and he shoots fire out of his mouth and kills the other guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not about strategy anymore. It's more about, ooh, look at this cool Pokemon. This one's a key. But, all right. Do you guys want to wrap it up, or do you have any other topic?
Sure, I think we can go ahead and wrap it up.
All right. So, this has been the first episode of, do you want to call it the Gray Podcast or the Gray Area Podcast?
Gray Area Podcast. Okay,
this has been the first episode of the Gray Area Podcast. I'm Kyland.
I'm Logan.
I'm Zach.
And...